Welcome back to the garage, guys. I'm Damien. This is the Binder Builder. Well, in the last video I told you there was a chance of me moving to Kansas. Guess what? It's happening. So let's get this bug back together, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to be taking a little break from my what I considered a logical build sequence on the bug to a oh crap, we've got to move build sequence. And that basically means I need to take everything and put it on this bug simply because it's a whole lot easier to move a car when it's put together and rolling than in lots of pieces. So instead of finishing the pedals today, I am going to go ahead and ditch that and start with putting the suspension together. Being in the South is murder on bare metal, so the first thing I did was clean up and paint the suspension bits. Some parts, like these rear arms, needed to be disassembled, but shortly after that, I pulled out my orbital sander, threw on some 80 grit sandpaper, and started cleaning it up. Then I used the Y wheel to get into spots that the sander couldn't reach. Next, a good wipe down with some acetone cleaned any grime left over. I threw an unfolded moving box on the table for painting purposes and let the first arm dry while I started on the second. It's pretty much the same treatment, sanding, then wire wheel, and finally an acetone wipe down before I taped off the bushings and started spraying some Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. Man, this stuff got expensive in the last couple months. After those dried and were moved, I started on the front lower control arms. Now I will say these are not part of a kit. I designed and built these by hand, and you can see the whole playlist of videos as in a link that I'll put in this video's description. But the arms were the same story. I started off with sandpaper, wire wheeled them, after which I wiped them down with some acetone, and then a coat of self-etching primer. I will say that while these didn't look too dingy, the sanding really made the metal bright again. I'm glad I'm doing this before painting. Then of course I moved to the upper control arms. It's the same story, so I won't spend too much time there. Then it was time for the steering knuckles. As for these units, I got these from Appletree Automotive. These are their buggy steering knuckles, and I opted for the 2-inch hollow spindles, which are the biggest they offer and give me the biggest wheel bearings. I did need to take a break and rebuild my trusty workbench. I don't have a real shop yet, so I cut down my 4 foot by 5 foot workbench to just 2 foot wide. Alright, with the bench rebuilt, it's time to install the bushings into the control arms. To do this, you simply just press the bushings into the DOM tube. It's a tight fit, so at times I have to use a rubber mallet to help. Personally, I like the tight fit. To me, it means they won't get all loosey-goosey real quick. And that's before I add the metal sleeves. As for getting the metal sleeves in, the rubber mallet only gets so far, but then I use my metal clamps to help push since they naturally keep the bushing from getting hammered out the other side. After the bushings are seated, I twist in the 7/8 heims. Once everything is ready, I install the arms into the bulkhead. It's a tight fit, but again, I kind of like it that way. A dead blow and a screwdriver help me align the holes a little bit, and the bolts can be tapped in from there. Once the arms are in, I installed the misalignment spacers into the heims and installed the knuckles. These can be a pain sometimes, but today the passenger side was cooperating. A quick stitching down of the bolts and now it's time for the driver's side. This gave me a little more trouble, but not too much. And before too long, I was cinching down the bolts and installing the steering knuckle. Okay, got that together. Let's take a look. So, looking pretty good. Kind of scratched up the paint just a skosh. And I will say this, one of the things that this primer does for me, it really highlights some of the bad parts. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So here, right there, you can see the little spots, little porosity there. I think that's what that was. And just where I missed. So I'll be able to grind those out, weld them up, fill them in. But yeah, any holes and stuff like that, I can see. So glad I put the primer on it. It was a lot easier to see it with the primer. Yeah, but one of the good views, I gotta tell you, is this one here. That one's pretty cool. Kind of see the flatness. Now I know this sticks down a bit, but I'm okay with that. My thought was to have a rib that basically supports the whole box tube. Now, of course, the shocks are next. So need to put the shocks in, and the shocks are going to go right over this. And I got a couple buddies who sent me some measurements on theirs, and where they put their shocks. So I'm just going to mimic those. Everything's going to be tacked for now. But then, yeah, my shock tower's up in here. My caster actually works out really well. You can see it in there. It's the same side to side. Now I will say, you probably noticed these are just Home Depot crappy bolts, ungraded at all. So like I said, I just need to get it to Kansas, and then I could replace everything with grade 8s and or whatever. But right now I just need it together so it'll roll. By the way, I absolutely need some 3510 15s. If you have a set, I would be overjoyed. 3510 15s. Chances are, never mind that, because chances are by the time you see this, I'll already be gone. But anyway, I still am going to be looking for my real tires. If I have to get roll-arounds and donuts or whatever to move this thing, I'll have to do that. But if you're a company or know of a company that has some takeoffs, or maybe want to give me a good deal, and I'll support you on the channel and shout you out and things of that nature, is put a sticker and all that other jazz. I'm going to start adding all the companies who actually help me out at the end of the videos. So if you want to be a part of that, please feel free to contact me. But anyway, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's time. Actually, you know what I'm going to do next? I think it's time to put the steering on and get that all situated. That way, once I put, then after that, I'll put on the hubs and rotors. After that, I will get the tires and wheels on, put on the back end, do all that stuff as well. And yeah, that will get me to a roller. I ordered some parts for the transmission mount so I could mount the motor and the transmission in, and we'll probably tackle that after the suspension's done and it's rolling, because it's going to be a whole lot easier to move the tranny and the engine and everything if it's on the car and the car's on wheels than if I have to get like a dolly or a whatever jack stand, or no, excuse me, it escapes me. Lots of things going through my mind right now. Anyway, continuing on. Actually, that's all I'm going to do on this video. I did say that these move videos are going to be kind of short and to the point, not so much chitty chatty like I usually am. But I do want to thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate your time. Please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Damien, and this is the Biker Builder.